Hey, welcome back to Midas Letter Live. My guest this segment is Gene Grant. He's a co-founder and CEO of VRBex. Is that how we say that, Gene?
It's close enough. We're VRBex.
VRBex, okay. Great. So why don't we start with an overview? What is VRBex?
Sure. VRBex is setting up to be the premier trading facility for cryptocurrencies and security tokens. So
Interesting.
it's a new and innovative area.
Okay, so I'll be able to buy and sell Bitcoin on your platform?
Sure, Bitcoin, if you want to purchase some of the cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, and then of course, when you want to invest in a real asset such as a security token, we'll be able to facilitate that as well.
I see. So what are the regulatory implications for VRBex to operate?
Good question, and in fact, it's not an easy one to answer. So we were offering two separate products, if you will, under one umbrella. So one unified user experience with two different regulatory agencies supervising us. On the cryptocurrency side, it'll be under the banking regulations, so FINRA, and then of course local state banking regulations. In New York State, you may be most familiar with the BIT license, and there's a couple other different variations. On the security token side, that's actually regulated under FINRA and the SEC. So we're going to have a nice complicated regulatory roadmap, but fortunately our team's very comfortable operating in highly regulated areas, and this is one area that we're very comfortable.
Fascinating. So you're running the full gamut of regulatory risk, or compliance rather, and that strikes me as somewhat groundbreaking. There aren't a lot of exchanges who have sort of taken the position that they're going to comply with all of these different aspects of the cryptocurrency / Bitcoin token universe. Is your business model then to make sort of fees for providing these services and this interchange?
Absolutely right. So what we believe is that so far the cryptocurrency universe, and you're referring to all aspects of the cryptocurrency world, whether we're talking the new security tokens or the existing currencies, have for the most part been mostly participated in by people from the tech space. And what we've seen is a huge expansion in the market cap of this, but in general, most of the existing exchanges are run by people from a technology background. Our backgrounds are traditional financial services. So there's 7 of us co-founders, and together we have 209 years of experience, 179 years in the financial world. So we're not youngsters. We've been doing this a little while, and we're very used to working in the highly regulated space of financial services. So our business model is to work with Main Street investors, Main Street participants, so making sure we have a very simple, easy to use, but very much customer-focused interface. So the whole client experience is very simple, like they get from a traditional financial services bank, or financial services enterprise, sorry. And our goal is to make fees from transactional volume, and of course in the buying and selling of crypto for fiat.
I see. So crypto mining is not a feature of your business model?
No.
Do everything, so that's a relief. What are your sort of, where does the VRBex platform connect with the traditional banking network? How do I get capital in? How do I get it out? And do you have partnerships with any main old traditional bricks and mortar banks?
Sure. We're actually in communication with a couple of the traditional bricks and mortar banks. We haven't signed any contracts yet. We're still in discussions. And the relationship there will be as a portal to get into the traditional payment system. So, when we move fiat back and forth, it'll be through an old-style bank. The fortunate thing about us is, having spent our entire careers within banks, both in the United States and around the world, we have a pretty good network of people we can talk to.
Great. The ability to comply with the SEC, with FINRA rules is excellent, but one gets the impression, listening to the mainstream financial news, that the SEC and FINRA regulations are not what you would consider at a fully baked state. And so are you sort of working with them and collaborating with them in real time to develop these new protocols and new rules?
It's interesting that you say that. I'm actually currently a registered principal with FINRA, so I've gone through and I've got the Series 24 and a bunch of other licenses, as anybody who wants to participate in these markets. And I understand the rules like everybody else as they are to date. Now, clearly the rules are not where we want them to be. So we need to evolve the marketplace and work with the regulatory agencies to adapt to this new world. But we're not quite there yet. The key today is complying to the rules as we know them. And yeah, they're not as user-friendly as we like, and they're not the ultimate destination yet. But every journey starts with a single step. And we're making small steps in order to bring this new marketplace to the masses. It won't be as quick as we like. It won't be as user-friendly as we like in terms of the regulatory world. But it doesn't mean it's not worth doing. And it's highly disruptive, I think. Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, no, that's okay. Okay, so then what is the timeline until, say, for example, instead of using fiat-based currencies, that I can now take my entire paycheck, let's call it, and move it into a cryptocurrency and transact all my business online through exchanges like yours, be it shopping on Amazon, moving money onto a debit or card so that I can use my cryptocurrency balance. How far are we away from that sort of a mature society using cryptocurrencies?
I don't think we're actually as far as people would like to think we are. And the people I'm referring to specifically are the mainstream financial institutions. You might have read in the news lately that they've all issued warnings in terms of the cryptocurrency world is infringing upon their profit models. And that's very true. It's very disruptive. I think the bigger issue is not how quickly can we allow flexibility for people to use their cryptocurrency balances for spending. I think the bigger question is, do they want to? So if we think of it today, many people think of Bitcoin more as an investment rather than a transactional currency. And they don't want to spend their Bitcoin in daily transactions. And that's more of a mental mindset rather than something that we can put in from a technology perspective. I think one of the things that will really ease that into the mainstream is to provide secure lending against Bitcoin balances, for example, so that when a client wants to spend in dollars, they use a debit card. That debit card would be then tied to their cryptocurrency account, and essentially they'll be drawing on a line of credit associated with that Bitcoin account, so that then they can decide when they want to sell as opposed to the moment they make a transaction. So those kind of innovations, secured lending innovations, those are available today. They're just not rolled out to the masses yet.
All right, Gene, that's fascinating. I'll leave it there for now. We'll come back to you in a quarter's time and catch up with VRBex. Thanks so much for your time today.
Thank you very much for having me. I'm very much looking forward to getting into this business. And for people who are interested in learning more about our company, we're in the middle of our initial security token raise, so you can look at us up there and a lot of information online.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Gene.